Hey, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about Sears' announcement of declaring Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Our team is made up of Taylor, Nathan, Cindy, Zheng, and myself, Sean. The topics that we're going to cover today are the causes for Sears' decline, the negative national impact, as well as the retail beneficiaries, and the local Houston impact, followed by how Sears is going to look post-bankruptcy. The causes for Sears' bankruptcy can be attributed to poor investment decisions, like spending $6 billion repurchasing stock to maintain their stock price, spending $2 billion on the Land's End brand, letting their stores fall into disrepair, and with the market changing in retail, they never adapted. They could have better spent that money adapting and developing their website or reinvesting in their old and aging stores. So other retailers have taken a lot of that business. They've gained market share, such as Amazon, other big box retailers such as Target and Walmart. Some other negative decisions that they made was they sold their Craftsman brand to Black & Decker, and now, just recently, that was announced that Black & Decker is going to be selling Craftsman tools at Lowe's, which is one of their biggest competitors. Also, they have reached an agreement with Amazon to sell Kenmore and DieHard batteries on Amazon, and then they lose their exclusivity, so why would you buy at Sears? And then ultimately, Land's End, the brand, failed, and they lost a lot of money on it. Next, Cindy is going to talk to you about the national impact and how it negatively affects other people.
Sears closing has had collateral damage. They're planning to close up to 700 stores, and they are now closing 142, and it's been only 24 days since they declared Chapter 11. Customers, since this will be affect employers. This will leave part-time and full-time employees without a job nationwide. Customers are gonna be affected, but especially long-time customers that are royal shoppers that are very disappointed because the stores are closing. Small mall retailers are gonna be affected too because of around the mall, and long-term. The biggest impact is gonna be on the pensions. The company long-term pension obligations is gonna be. Well, next, Taylor is gonna talk about the benefit, the retailer beneficiaries.
So I'm going over the positive effects nationally. As you can see, we're going to start with JCPenney's and Walmart. JCPenney's is seen as being one of the biggest beneficiaries, actually number one, mainly because they just brought back their appliances from the former CEO enforced it. That way they're not just getting the apparel side, they're also getting that appliance side as well. Walmart has that double-edged sword, like that double-sided benefit as well. If you see, we also have the three Kohl's, Target, and Macy's. They're going to get the main apparel boost. So 32.5% of sales from Sears was strictly apparel. But with JCPenney's and Walmart, and even these guys, they all have the same target market similarities. So the average shopper is 49 years old, where through these three retailers, their average shopper is between 48 to 50 years old. Also, their average household incomes are similar. The average shopper at Sears makes $50,000 a year, $32,500 a year for their average household income. So they're all very similar, and location is a huge thing. So Lowe's, Home Depot, and Best Buy are within a 15-minute radius of all Sears stores. And then back to JCPenney's and Walmart, they are all within a quarter mile of 47% of all Sears stores. So that's why they're seen as the biggest beneficiaries over these other 6. Best Buy is going to probably get a lot of the smaller sales, so $175 million increase in their sales is estimated because of the fact that they're going to get those tablets and phone and smaller electronic sales, while Home Depot and Lowe's will see like a $500 million increase, and Lowe's is going to see a $300 million increase because of the fact that they have those larger home appliances, such as the lawnmowers, the grills, and all the other big appliances. And I'm going to pass it on to John as he goes over the local Houston impact.
Hi, I'm going to cover the local impact of Sears closing its store in Houston. And Sears' most competitor are JCPenney, Macy's, Lowe's, and Best Buy. Before Sears closed its store, Walmart has opened 12 stores, which is the most among those different brands, which counts 20% in total of the number of stores open within Beltway 8. And while Sears has opened 10 and contributed to 16.67%. After Sears closed 2 of its stores, Walmart still opens 12 stores, but the percentage increased to 20.69%, while Sears has dropped to only 13.79%. We can see a 3% drop. One of the stores closed by Sears is in the Midtown location. It was started business since 1939 and closed this January. And the Rice Management Corp, which is responsible for the Rice University enrollment, has bought out the property and plan to transform it to the main campus of the Houston Innovation District. The other location is in the Memorial City Mall. Was built in 1961, and it will be closed in November. And it was appraised at $27.7 million, and owned by the Surrogate Growth Property, which owns most of the lease from Sears. And it didn't announce any new leaser or buyers for this property yet. And there's about 100 people were affected by this closing. But Sears has announced that eligible people will be able to apply for open position in nearby Sears. Next, Nathan's gonna go over the bankruptcy of Sears.
Thank you. So the post-bankruptcy of Sears is going to look like, it was going to be very short, and it's going to be determined by this holiday season. So part of filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the company has to propose a plan on November 15th. Part of that plan is going to have them secure at least $600 million in funding, and that's to keep their shelves stocked through the holiday season. With that, by the end of the year, they're also going to have roughly 142 stores closing out of the 700. On December 15th, they're supposed to announce a stalking horse bidder, which the stalking horse bidder is already analyzing what the company is worth, and they'll make an initial bid. Now, after that initial bid has been made public, no other company is going to basically undershoot that bid. It's the minimum bid that Sears will take. December 15th, they'll know what the company is worth. Now, the long term is very unclear. It's going to be determined by this holiday season, how much they make, what the valuation of the company will initially be made by the stalking horse bidder, and any new owner will essentially have a major voice in what the company is going to do next year. And that can be restructuring the company to make it more profitable, or just liquidating its assets and trying to pay off its debts. So to conclude, Sears has made poor investments. Those poor investments have hurt employees and their suppliers. The upside is that there's a void in the retail market, which other retailers in the nation, either locally, gain from it, and well, locally, 2 stores have closed, so that obviously is going to help the retailers in this community. But the future is relatively unclear right now, and we really won't know anything until the beginning of next year. Thank you, and if you guys have any questions or comments,